Hi, welcome. I'm Lori Spielman, First Selectman for the town of Ellington, and I want to give you a few updates of what's going on in town in our December show here, and I'm very excited, as usual. So first we had Wreaths Across America, and it was at Ellington Cemetery. It was a great service they had, and we all helped to put wreaths on our veterans' graves. So that was a great time. And also, we had a groundbreaking at Windermere School that was put on by our superintendent of schools. And also what was different this time was we had 6 or 7 children that wrote in why it's important to have an expansion of the school and what they were looking forward to. So in the pictures, you could see some of the young students that were chosen for what they've wrote, and it was a great time. Also, we had a gingerbread house contest at Ellington Congregational Church, which was great. There's one that was really unique. It was built like an A-frame, and if you look through the glass doors, which are made of sugar, you could see like a bed and everything inside. It's very hard with the pictures, but the people did such very great detail, and it was also judged by myself and Josh from Luann's Kitchen, and we also had another lady from the church help us. She was wonderful. Also, we had Winterfest, which was wonderful. Great weather. A lot of people came out for it. We also had Nellie McKnight's open. They were giving away free hot chocolate and cider, cookies, and a lot of other things for people. That was just wonderful. They had fires going and just a nice place to hang around. Also, we had at Zen's, our Commissioner of Agriculture was there, and also our Deputy Governor. She was there also. We were wanting to support our farmers at Christmas time for Christmas trees, wreaths. So that was a great thing that the governor put on for us. We were all appreciative of everybody coming in and buying trees. Also, so my guest is Mark Dewinski. Mark, welcome.
Thank you, Lori.
So Mark is many different hats, but one of them is Bed Bug Busters. And that makes you itchy just trying to think about it. So Mark, can you tell me, and you have a guest with you, or?
Yeah, so Frank is with me. He's a senior manager for Bed Bug Busters. We've been in the business for probably over 10 to 15 years now. And we have an interesting process to what we do. So unlike chemicals, we just use heat to kill bed bugs. And now bed bugs, again, are they're a pest. You know, it is something that we do have to eliminate, but there's, certain ways that we do that.
So what is a bed bug?
Yeah, Frank,
Is it like a tick, or what is a bed bug?
Well, it kind of looks like a tick, but it's a little bit bigger, kind of flat, brownish in nature. They could be really tiny, up to like 5 millimeters. And kind of brownish, and they hang out where you are. You can pick them up anywhere, in a train, sitting on a couch like this, and unknowingly bring them home.
So, but where do they come from?
They originally came from Europe, and we kind of had them under control for a little bit of time. But what's happened is some of the chemicals that were used in the past have now been outlawed, so we have less powerful chemicals. They're actually also getting used to or immune of some of these chemicals as well. And people are traveling more. And honestly, they just don't know as much about bed bugs anymore. So now they're growing again. And so we're trying our darndest with our heat process to treat them.
I remember New York had quite the infestation of bed bugs in a lot of hotels, so people were kind of weary about that. But also, what are some good tips if you're traveling?
Okay, so again, what we recommend, so when you go to a hotel room, the first thing you do, instead of taking your luggage and putting it on the bed, we recommend to put it in the tub. It's white, it's porcelain, and this way you can also see if there's any bugs. If there's no, you put them in the porcelain tub, then you can take your flashlight, even on your phone, and look around the bed. What we usually recommend, so you're looking for white dots or black dots. The white dots are their eggs, the black dots are their fecal matter. And then you're just looking around to find out, seeing anything around the seams, the headboards, things of that nature. If everything's good, now you can take your luggage out and you can, put them on the bed and all that kind of stuff. We still recommend not to put your clothes in the drawers because, again, how closely are you looking and trying to look for things? But if you do find something, it's not a big deal. Your luggage is in the tub. You take it out and ask for a different room.
Wow. So what do we know about bed bugs, or why are they coming up all of a sudden again?
So bed bugs have been with us for a long time, like Frank said. And what's happening is they are becoming immune to the sprays. The heat is the only way to kill the bed bugs in all their life cycles, from eggs to nymphs to the adults. And we're also having people, we travel a lot more. People are buying, different kind of furniture from other people. There's a lot of different factors that are coming into play, and that's what's happening with bed bugs.
Wow. So what do we really know about them? And, why? Can we slow them down? What can we do?
Well,
Some people used to spray.
Right.
And
And again, one thing that we usually tell people, I know it's, people freak out. They're very concerned about this. The easiest thing is to call a professional, have them come, and then we can assess the problem, whether it's us or someone else. We prefer using heat other than chemicals, but it's just a better approach because, again, like we said before, what's happening is the chemicals, when you're spraying a bed bug and it doesn't kill the bed bug, and it reproduces. Now their babies have that gene in them, so they start being less affected to the pesticides.
are there any health risks?
Want to take that?
Not really, other than minor itching. The bed bugs don't carry any disease. So other than the inconvenience of being bitten at night or at any time, there are no health risks associated to bed bugs.
Wow. So how far does your company go?
We'll go all over Connecticut.
Wow.
We have a total of 3 different crews going at all times. And, what we do, though, unlike other companies, we treat it like it's our own home. And we understand the concerns, the craziness. And the nice thing about us is that there's no prep work. There's nothing that they have to do. They just leave with the clothes on their back. We take care of everything else.
And how long do you have to be gone for? Days or?
No, it's all done in one day. And our goal is to get everyone back in by dinner time.
Wow, that's great.
Yep.
So do you see more and more?
We're seeing more and more. We're seeing them all over the place. And again, one thing we want to stress to people is that bed bugs do not discriminate. You can be rich, poor, it doesn't matter. You can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer, it doesn't matter. We do all those kinds of houses and everything else. We just have to, people just have to be observant and then understand that, hey, we have an issue. Instead of running out and just buying a spray, call a professional and we can just take a look at it.
So Mark, explain to me what you do.
How our process works. So what we do is we'll come in, once we notify that they are bed bugs, we will come in, we'll put heaters in every single room. We bring it up to 135 degrees, and then we put out silver mats and we bake all your clothes. So we take all your clothes, we put them on a silver mat, we bake them, we bag them, and we continue the process. Then we go through all the furniture, your mattresses, we put them up in A-frame, put fans all around the room, so it creates a hot vortex in that whole room. So it's almost like you're making an oven.
Wow.
And then once we're done, we'll take a HEPA vac and we'll suck up all the bugs.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
It's quite a process, and we bring the whole house up to temperature within 15 to 20 minutes.
But it must take quite a bit of time if you're going through everybody's clothes.
Right, and that's the whole issue is it takes us time to go through every nook and cranny of that house. We have special heat guns that we take a look, and we're making sure that everything gets up to temperature. We also have a computer system that will kind of give us the information that we need if we're missing an area.
And that's what really makes it effective. as opposed to the sprays that you're dependent on the bed bug actually touching the spray where you put it down. We're gonna go after the bed bug wherever they are in your home.
So if you spray, is it true that they could go underneath your walls and go into,
That's exactly right.
and then
Lori.
live in there and then come back out?
So they will actually, we take the outlet covers off. We bake inside the outlet covers as well. When you spray and the bed bug did not get affected, because what's happening is if you spray a bed bug, the adults have created a waxy coating on their exoskeleton. And if you don't spray them in the face, you won't kill them.
Wow.
So now they'll crawl away and they're smart, they'll go into the walls and then we have to get them out and kill them.
Are hotels getting better at it? Because I could see them spraying, but like you said, it's a temporary patch.
Correct. Some are. We will get calls from hotels. We mainly deal with the problem ones, the ones that they can't get rid of.
Yeah.
But it is an ongoing thing, and we are working with hotels to try and help them in any way we can.
And then just people bring them home, and then you got another problem there.
Right. And
So what if you ignore the problem?
well, if you ignore the problem, then you're going to, again, like Frank said, they don't pose a health risk. Okay. You're not going to get a disease from them, but they are going to multiply rapidly, and you're going to have them all over your house. We've seen places that are very, very badly infested, where they're all over the ceilings, all over the walls.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about pets?
So again, pets, we don't really see them on pets. That's not one of the things. Remember, bed bugs they're scared of us. So they want to hide, they want to be in a dark place. They'll come out to feed, but then they'll scurry back away. They don't want to be around a dog. They don't want, a dog will run around or cat will walk around. They don't want any part of that.
Now,
And
what
they
do
prefer they really prefer our blood, and they're very drawn to that. So they're not going to.
That's what I was going to ask you. What do they feed on? Blood?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
But what's crazy with a bed bug, they will actually, before they bite, they'll actually stick you with an antiseptic. So you won't feel it until afterwards.
Oh, so they're kind.
They're kind bugs, yes.
That's nice. Boy, it's amazing. I could see people just trying to ignore it, and they just. So how do they multiply?
Again, so they just produce and they lay eggs.
A lot of eggs at once?
A decent amount. I don't know the exact number, but it is a decent amount of eggs, so they multiply very quickly. Regarding the eggs are also very difficult to see. Like in a picture, we actually have a picture of a screw, and they'll lay eggs right around a screw,
Wow.
and you can see the white dots of the eggs.
Now, if people are questionable, if they maybe think they might have it or whatever, how can they get a hold of you, Mark?
So you can, on our website, it's bedbugct.com, or you can call our number at 860-257-6309.
Could you give me the number again?
And it's 860-257-6309.
Okay, great. And you're from Ellington?
We're from Ellington.
That's
So
great.
we're local. And, one of the things that we would also want to strive for someone who has it is don't go crazy, okay? It's not the end of the world. We'll go in there and the husbands will take their mattresses and take them out the house and all that stuff. All they've done is now just spread. They've spread the problem. So sometimes we can go in there and treat certain areas. We usually recommend to do the whole house because, again, like I said, we treat it like it's our own home. If if something happened to me, I would want the whole house done.
Wow.
Yeah, and definitely call for help. Like I know you were mentioning about ignoring it, and I think what I've recently been experiencing is that there's a stigma associated to bed bugs. People are more than willing to have roaches and call up a pest control company. They'll come out with, a picture of a roach on the side, but the minute you mention bed bugs, they don't even want their neighbors to know.
Right.
So
we were at Mrs. Jones' house, and she's loaded with bed bugs. Nobody wants
But
to
they're
hear
just
that.
like anything else, right? And like Mark said, that they don't discriminate. It's not a cleanliness thing. It's not anything you did. And so, got to find a way to remove that stigma so that we can be more effective about it, so people can be open about it.
One other thing, just to top on Frank here, is we're very discreet. None of our trucks or trailers say anything. So we come in there, you'll see a truck or trailer in your driveway, and then we'll leave that day. So, if your neighbors are nosy, they have no idea what's going on.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Right.
And people must be thrilled that their house is all nice and clean. And
Correct.
do you dust too?
No, we don't dust. No, but we will guarantee that there are no bed bugs once we're done.
How many houses do you think you do in a month? I know it must vary all the time.
It does
but
vary, but we're very busy. We're very busy with it, and again, all of our clients, it's very confidential. We don't give out any information. So once we do it, that's it.
So say I had bed bugs and I go out to eat in a restaurant. So now I'm sitting in a booth or whatever. So now I transported the bed bugs to the restaurant.
Correct.
And then
so
whoever sits in that booth
it's a
brings them home.
possibility. That's
It's a risk, and I think that this is where the stigma comes in, where the minute you tell someone that you've been over their house and now you have bed bugs, they're going to think that they have bed bugs. Because we get this question around, well, does my car have it? Does my work have it? Does everywhere I've been have it? And while yes, you can pick them up that way, that doesn't mean that you're literally leaving a trail of bed bugs behind you. And so that's not necessarily true. And even in homes where we'll see them just in the bedroom and nowhere else. They're not just always hanging out with you.
Huh. That's
But it's a possibility, but I know that gets into people's heads of like, where am I leaving them? I'm like, you're not necessarily.
so
You
basically
could, but you're not.
they could get on your clothes and,
Yes.
can they get in your hair and everything else? Or just
again-
they go up for your skin?
pretty much, yeah. I mean, they're gonna take a ride in your clothes if it's a heavy infestation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they are gonna just stay in the home.
And they're going to wait. So they don't like movement. So when we go into people's homes to do an inspection or like we like to move around, generally they'll wait for you. They know, they're so smart. They'll wait for you to be actually asleep. So they know the level of carbon monoxide or whatever we're breathing out at night, and your body temperature and even your heartbeat to the certain level that says, yep, this person's asleep. Now I'm going to come out.
That's amazing.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
They really are. I mean, we've seen a lot of cases where when we're in a place and it's heavily infested, the adults know that something's going on and they try and save their young. So they'll actually climb on top of the young to try and save themselves from the heat.
Wow.
They're very amazing creatures. So we give them a lot of respect.
It's amazing how God created all these very intelligent
Yeah.
animals and bugs and everything else.
So again, one of the pluses is, again, we're not using chemicals. It's all natural. We just come in there, kill them with heat.
But when I was growing up, you never heard about bed bugs.
Correct.
Well, it was a song or something like that.
Yep. And the funny thing is, so they did have a chemical that would kill bed bugs and everything else, but it was also giving us cancer.
Oh,
So now, they no longer can use that chemical.
wow. Like DDT or whatever.
Something like that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But that's pretty neat that you can go in with high heat
Right.
and not wreck anything.
Right. So again, nothing happens to your TVs, your computers, your electronics. We unplug everything. So it's not hot enough to melt any plastics, but it's hot enough to kill.
Wow.
I was hoping that the heat would also help me lose some weight, but that's not happening. Maybe I'll do hot yoga when we're in there, but we're in there about 20 minutes at a time, and we make sure that we're hydrating. But because we're in there, we have to
Right.
move things around. We wait until the home is heated up before then we start dealing with the clothes. So it's a lot of fun for the crew, but at the end of the day, we're helping people. I mean, 80% of the battle and the work for us really starts when we get that first phone call. People are hysterical. They don't know what to do. They know that these are tough to get rid of. So a lot of it is that conversation of like, hey, we're with you. We're here. We'll walk you through this. This is not a months thing. This is work with us, and it's a day thing, and we got your back.
If Mrs. Jones calls you in the morning and frantic, oh, I have bed bugs, what happens after you hang up?
Generally, we'll schedule a visit to, let me go see your house. Sometimes it's not a bed bug, right? So, well, what is it? But if it is, we'll look at how much the infestation is. We'll assess kind of, well, what's the home layout, how much stuff is in there, how much do we have to treat. But we're generally out there within a day to do the inspection, and then look to actually even do a treatment maybe 2 to 3 days down the road. We don't we don't wait on this. We'll get right on it.
Now I know that a lot of people have cellars, and what if they have a lot of stuff in the cellar? Do you have to go down and do that, or?
So sometimes, we have seen activity in the cellar, most times not. Again, bed bugs only want to be about 6 to 8 feet away from us. They don't want to be that far. So we can treat cellars. Again, it's a little bit more complicated because, again, we have different ways that we can do it, but heat will actually go through concrete. So we have a hard time keeping keeping the room at a certain temperature. But we have different ways and techniques of keeping the heat in there.
That's amazing what you've come up with and how you do it and everything else. So once you go out to Mrs. Jones' house and inspect it, how soon can you get in and take care of it for her?
Usually, we'll be out there usually that day to at least talk to them and find a solution. Then usually within a day or two, we can get them into the schedule and get it done.
Wow. Now how about stink bugs? Do you see a lot of stink bugs at all?
Yeah, I mean, again, the process, we will create a sterile environment when we're done. So nothing will be alive while we are there. And again, we have a protocol. We tell people, we have to get their pets out and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we will kill other rodents as well. It's just we specialize in bed bugs.
So Mrs. Jones gets dressed, leaves for the day with her dog, and she comes back. What if she has bed bugs on her clothes?
Well, part of the process is actually to meet Mrs. Jones in the morning and make sure that we're evaluating kind of what she's going to take with her, minimize what she's going to take with her, and then talk about a protocol to what she's going to do when she gets back, which
So she
is
has
going to
to
involve.
walk in naked?
If you have a garage, that'd be nice. No, but it's minimal steps in the home, and immediately the clothes go into the dryer for about an hour. That's generally the general process that we follow.
Then you got all little kid Jones clothes after the dryer hits them.
Well, again, the whole thing is, bed bugs can't take that heat. So even a dryer at high heat for an hour will kill a bed bug. So they are very fragile creatures.
So even when you travel, it's not a bad idea to throw your clothes in the dryer when you get back.
That's correct. Again, things that I would recommend, especially if you are concerned, it can't hurt to put your clothes in the dryer, high heat for an hour. Leave a suitcase out in the garage, until you can really inspect it and take a look. It doesn't, a lot of people say, well, I wash my clothes first and dry it. I get that, but washing will not kill bed bugs. You just cleaned them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So even like hot water won't kill them?
No.
Boy, because they have that waxy coating on?
Correct. I mean, we like to, like I said, bed bugs will die at 119 degrees, but we like to bring it up to about 135 just for the extra caution.
Boy, that's kind of itchy.
And the other thing is, so bed bugs won't, because we bring it up to temperature so quickly, they don't scurry away. They pretty much run around in a 1-inch circle and die.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's amazing because you would think bed bugs just go everywhere. And it's very interesting that they don't go that far and they just want to go after your skin.
That's it. Yep.
So do you meet people that are just really bitten up or not too bad?
Sometimes. It varies. And again, some people, just like a mosquito, some people will swell up, some people won't. So, you'll have, the wife who got, bitten up and the husband not. Doesn't mean he's not getting bit.
Well, she's sweeter, right?
That's right, always.
So what do you have what's your best message to tell everybody?
Well, again, it's not, like Frank was saying before, it has a bad rap. You have bed bugs, everyone's like, oh, stay away. It's more common than people think. And, if there is a concern, please give us a call or give a company a call that does heat because, we can take a look. And the other thing is we would not do a process unless we see activity.
Okay. And you'll service the whole state of Connecticut?
Correct.
Do you go outside of Connecticut at all?
Right now, no. We're pretty much focusing on Connecticut, but who knows down the road.
Boy, that's really quite a business. And it's very unusual. I mean, you don't hear about it every day.
No, no. And, you know, the thing that we really enjoy is we like helping people. And this is one way we can help people.
That's wonderful. And like you said, it doesn't matter what you are, or,
Right.
I mean, rich, poor, whatever. Bed bugs just like some good skin.
Yeah, they don't discriminate.
That's great, sort of. How about people's campers? You ever get involved in that?
We have.
Yep.
Yep.
And even tractor trailers, anything that moves. Yeah.
That's right.
We can do car treatments. If you are worried about bed bugs in your vehicle, or if you know that there are, we could do those as well.
So nothing melts in the car. The steering wheel doesn't.
No.
We got it all covered.
Boy.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how they just travel.
Well, again, we travel a lot, you know, in the society. You know, it's very easy to get on a plane and go somewhere. So that's why we're getting them.
Well, we're going to wrap it up. Mark, do you have anything else you want to say? Or
No, it was a pleasure talking with you.
yeah, and Frank, it was nice to have you on and
Thanks
meet
for
you.
having us.
And I want to wish everybody happy holidays and happy New Year, and we will see you next year. So thank you for tuning in this year.
Bed Bug Busters. We use thermal remediation to get rid of all your bed bug problems. Our trucks and trailers do not have any logos on them. This way, we can be very discreet. This is an environmentally safe and eco-friendly way to eliminate bed bugs. The whole process takes one day, and there's no prep work for you to do. All you have to do is leave in the morning and come back by dinner time to a bed bug free house. We use special fans that create a hot vortex in each room. We bring each room up to 135 degrees. We use silver trays to put your clothes on and bake them to get rid of any bed bugs. We have sensors we put down in every room to make sure all areas of the house are up to temperature. Let our family get rid of all your bed bug problems so your family can sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite.